So that's dry, and I've just been playing here. I've sanded this, I couldn't find my actual sanding block, which is a bit strange. This one has got no actual sanding, so I've just got a piece of sandpaper from my big one, my big orbital sander, because it just needs a little bit more. Better do it on the screen. So I've just taken back what I need to take back, made it all really nice and smooth and lovely. Just checking it's all down now. If something comes off, like, you know, and the red shows through, fabulous. All the better, you know. In the process, I love this red crackle that's coming through this bit. Now, I found a piece of cork clay that I've made up, and I've broken it up into 3 pieces, and I'm going to utilize that on these 3 pieces somehow. I'm not too sure yet. And the other thing is that I've slightly changed since I had a look at these, and for this size I decided that they were just a bit big, unfortunately, so that's why I've gone to something in cork clay, which is probably better because you guys can make whatever cork clay element you want to put in your work. Okay, so this is a jelly print that I have done, and it has got a bit of colour in it, and I'm not too sure where I'm going to actually, or if I want it in here. And these funky little bronze buttony bits that I've got. So I've got one for each. So I am going to have a bit of a play with this. I've got out other pieces too. I got out some pieces that I've made on the foil just to have a look and see whether or not that's something I want to incorporate. I've also got out some nail stuff. I don't know whether I want to put some of that on, and I've also got the little bits of jelly print that I cut out prior, that they will probably go on somewhere, maybe. So I'm saying maybe because I'm not really sure at this point in time, so I need to sit with them. So this is what they look like. So this is all the things that I have out that might be the maybes. Yeah, at this point, let me just show you the boards. So there's 3 of them, and I love them just as they are. You could clear varnish them, or matte varnish them, and be done with it, I suppose. Or put on a really big, you know, circle. I got this out before and just was playing around with whether I wanted to put that on and then make another one to go somewhere half on the other side. But all of these things, I need a little bit, I have a bit of time to think about them. As you know, sometimes I just do them in the center, so I might end up doing that. These 3 particular are quite different though, but they're made of the same things. But this in the middle, this one in the middle, is very different to these ones. These ones are much more patchy, yeah, different kinds of, much more active. That's not the word I'm looking for, but you know, this is far more simplistic. Yeah, it's only got sort of that, and they're all going in the same direction. These ones are kind of all over. So that's why I've set them up to this one in the middle. Now that might mean that I actually, you know, make a center point of the, like, you know, make something in the center of this one and do something very simple on the outside ones, or something the same on there and something different in the middle. Anyway, I will see you when I've kind of figured it out. So of course, you know what I'm like. I've started. I've changed again. Everything keeps on changing in my world, seriously. Alright, I don't know whether it's the same with you guys when you're actually doing pages and things. So I have done the 3 bases, and you can see they're all kind of similar though. All right, at this point, can I get these all on camera? They're still wet. I've just used Liquitex Gloss Medium to stick down the material and stick down the decorated foil. And I'm probably, even though I said before I was going to go with these, I had a bit of difficulty, you know, making just that. It was too small. So I'm not sure at this point exactly what I'm going to do, as I'm not sure all the way along. But this is what I'll show them to you. This is what they look like now, and they've all been they're still wet. So there's the 3 in the series that I've got so far. And as I said, I used the foil, I used a jelly print, I used some silk cord, you know, that I use in these, my little flip books. And the other thing I was thinking of, actually, while I'm here, I mean, I could very easily just put one of those in the middle, I'm thinking now, because I'm not building up anything else. I was also thinking red. I was looking at my wax seal, whether I could actually do anything red on there, because I quite like that red. So I might be looking for something red. The other thing I was looking at was the foil. So I actually have all the gold, the bronze, and the silver foil. So if I need, but I do have quite a bit going on in there already. So yeah. All right. Till they're dried, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, or later. I'll probably just stop this and let it dry and carry on tomorrow morning. I wanted to show you the first one I finished, and I actually wanted, I put the cork, remember the cork, I pressed that on last night and actually stuck that down, and then I've sewed on the piece of bronze work, and also the 3 little tiny red seed beads that I have. So that's that one finished. I like the fact that this moves, but I will be, as you can see in the back, I've actually secured it, but I've also secured it with a bead. So I will be adding some gel medium to that to flatten that down, and, you know, also putting a piece of cord on that to hang it with. I should probably clean up the back, but really, who sees the back? Alright, so that is one of the pieces that I have finished, except for those few things. In the set, I decided that I would do different things, and I have got this one. So they all had a piece of cork clay put on them, with the textured painted cork clay. They all had that put on them, and this is wet still. So I've used a piece of beautiful lace work that I had of my grandma's, actually, that clearly, you know, the tat work is gorgeous. So I've just added a little bit of that and a bit of jute along the top, and this particular one is going to be sewn on here when it's dry, and with the beads. So the beads will either go at the top or over here, or yeah, somewhere when I actually decide. So that's drying nicely over there. And I thought I'd leave this third one. Now the third one for me, it's quite difficult. The third one, because I take such a long time. So what my process is quite long, really. And it probably is for most mixed media artists. Kind of walk away and come back, and this one is the busiest one that I made. I made them quite busy, and I wanted to show you just, and I don't know whether I've actually shown you before, but anyway, going to show you again. So this is the piece that I want to add to this somewhere, and I don't know what else I want to add to it. So what I do is I have a few pieces of paper and a few things that sort of, you know, I can take a photo. So what I do is I lay out, you know, the 3 beads in different places and block off different places, or add in pieces of, you know, dark, and I take photos. So I probably take about before I get it right, before I finish with what I'm happy with, it's probably 10 photos that I take. And so that's what I'm probably going to do with this one. Well, I'm not going to probably do it. That's exactly what I'm going to do with this one, because at this moment it's not looking right. It's very all over the shop. And also the other thing is it does depend on which way you look at something. Okay, so you might need to break apart, you know what I mean? You might need to you can do that, like cut off a piece so that it doesn't I've got some black cords and some black papers and things, so that would actually, you know, it just, I don't know, blocks out that. So I could actually use paper, or I could paint, or I could do anything, you know, really at this point. So I just have a play with different ways, as I said, and then take photos. So what I'll do is actually, I will do what I do, and I will take photos of each design, and then you will see how the process kind of works, because I will put 3, I will put all of the pictures up. Okay, I've stopped talking. Okay. All right, okay, see ya. All right, so I've actually, I must have taken 20 photographs actually. This is what I decided, and I haven't glued it down or anything yet. But this is the winning one. As you go along, you can see from the photographs how some of them I don't know, look, so when this was in the middle, it was lots, the impact of the central focus area was quite small, but by moving it up here, it actually made it larger. And by blocking out down here with the cream, it made the central bit more focused. I don't know whether you can see that or not, but anyway. I hope you can. I hope you can. With all those pictures, you can see the difference in which one and why I chose this one. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to glue that little bit on there, and I'm going to sew on the beads and things, but I am going to glue. I'm actually, no, I might sew that on too. Actually, I've got some thread, so I'm going to sew this on and leave this movable. Sew that on, sew the beads on. This is already stuck down, and I will get the Liquitex and glue that down. So I'll be back. Okay, so it's all nice and dried, and I've actually got so it's just cotton thread that I've got, but I've actually double thread, you know, it's double, so there's 4 strands on there. But I am going to put a medium over the top of it anyway. So what the first thing I'm going to do is actually, now depending on how thick your canvas is, that would be the other thing. I'll just make sure I'm on camera. I have a rubber. Rubber is very handy, as you know. I use it for a few things, but so I'm going to have that there and this here, and I think that's correct. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go down. I'm going to push down with the needle where I want to sew this on, but I'm not this cord piece of rope. That's the first piece, but I'm going to come in from the back, and I'm actually going to put a bead, a seed bead at the back. Now that's going to stop anything from coming through, and I will, as I said, put some medium down. Now I'm just going to run along here and actually stitch. Now I go back into the same hole because there's a piece of rope, cord, jute, or whatever you're sewing in between, it actually will still hold in place. So before you pull it tight, just make sure you've got it where you want it. Alright, and then we can pull that tight. Now, some people knot in between. I tend to do that. Then I'm going to come up. Now, you ask how I know where to go. Well, I don't really. It's a bit of a guide. Just push down and just sew along. Now you can go, as I said, back into the hole that you came out of. Like so. And I just go along there, sort of the same distance, you know. Now see, that one's a little bit high, so I'm actually going to go and make another hole to make that a little bit lower, and that is what my rubber is for. So I'm going to have those 3 there, and then just, I think I'm going to have 4, which is an unusual number for me, but that's how many I see. Whoops. Now, if you do that, don't stress. Line up the line, which I just didn't do. Just meld it over. It's canvas, and you are going to seal it again anyway. Alright, and then I'm going to go through there again. Alright, now that is not moving anywhere, those 4 stitches in there. 4 is an odd number for me. I will tie that off and cut it. You'll also notice that the bead has come off, so it wasn't a big enough knot on the bottom. I should have threaded it round, which I probably will do now. Actually, I might go in with one of these, and then I'll go through the end, which is knotted, to create that at the bottom so it can't come off. Now I'm going to stitch on. It was that way. I'm going to stitch on. That's not the right one. I think it's this one actually, isn't it? Oh yes, I think so. I'm going to stitch it there. I think it's there that I wished it to be. Now I've got a slight issue because there is the hole, you might see, is really big on this side, but it's actually not so big on the other side, so I might have to just get a now look, these as you know, these are mine from my jewelry workshops, you know, that when I've been doing tests and things. But you could have other things, and I was thinking, you know, you could have other bits and bobs from old jewellery or anything like that around, you know. that you could utilize in creating something like this. Let's just see whether that works. Yes. All right. Now I'm going to go through the same hole again, and you could do that twice on this, just to make sure that it's actually really well secured. And but I am going to actually put some glue on it anyway too. But righto. Make sure that's all nicely secured. I'll tie it off. Now you could actually, you know, if you were running out of thread at this point, and you wanted to, like, I don't think I've got enough on there to do it all. I have this, joining it all together on the back is a good idea, you know, like just winding it all together, because there's glue going to go over all of it, just to make sure nothing ever moves in the future. Knotting it a couple of times. Like so. And then threading another piece of thread for doing the beads. So the beads are going to go, I'll just stop. Okay, so I'm just going to get a seed bead and put it at the base of this again and knot it at the bottom. So we go through the seed bead and then into the, there's like 4 strands here, so in to the middle, and that should knot that on the bottom. Right, just trim that up a bit. Okay, now the seed beads. Do I remember where I wanted them? I might have to go and look at the picture when I decided exactly where I wanted those. I think it was somewhere here. Yeah, I like it there, I think. Or do I like it more up there? Okay, hang on, I've got to look at the photo. No, it's actually there. So, going to, I haven't even tested whether that, so we can just line that up. Because it's such a small frame, you can kind of see where the, where you want it. So that bead stops at the back. Get your seed bead on and then go through the same hole. Make sure now, as I said, you can knot them between. Right. Then the other one is, I think I want there. So if I measure that in line, should be, yep, right there on my finger. And then this one is in line again. Okay, so that's the 3 of them. Let's just see whether we've got that can go in the top through the top of the same hole. And there you have it. Now I'm finishing off at the back, but up with knots and making sure that's nice and tight. And then, as I said before, numerous times, I will run over this with the Liquitex gel medium or a matte medium or anything that's going to secure this down. I can also, you know, run a couple more round and round and round just to make sure that everything's joined up. Go back to the original seed bead and knot a couple of times around it. Okay, that is that. All right, so we have that one done on camera. This one is done too. This one here is done. The other one that's from the set, I will take individual better shots because it's a bit shiny on here after I've glued the backs and so forth. And then this one here is the one that I have to finish with the beads, but I'm not going to do that online because, you know, obviously you can see what I'm doing. But what I will do is I will put them up right at the end, and probably on my Facebook page and my Judy Armstrong Studio Group page, and the links and everything on there. Thank you so much for watching. If you're still here, I know that I talk a lot and repeat myself a lot. I do apologize, but thank you so much for being here. Please subscribe and like and share. And I am actually going to do the next ones of these. I'm going to do mandala style ones, which are, you know, brighter colors and so forth. And just a heads up, with as a central point, I purchased on my great AliExpress these beautiful mandala earrings, which are way too big for me to wear, but I just love the fact that they were metal, like they're 40 mil across, and I'm going to use those on a bit of a larger canvas than this particular one, but I'm actually going to use that, the central point of my mandala, coming out with things. And so yep, if you can find anything that's similar to that, then all's well. All right, catch you then. Bye. Take care of yourselves.